There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonko table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonko table, the table that will make their dreams come true.
Yo, everyone. That is the voice of your Yonko host, Dr. Jace Attorney, and we are returning for the penultimate episode of The Last of Us. This is the pre-season finale of the first season for the hit TV series by the same name. So we only have one more episode after this, and oh man, this episode had me all sorts of emotional. I think I teared up. I teared up on this one. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. But with me to deep dive this episode is fellow Yonko Grandmaster Hoop. Grandmaster, how'd you feel about episode 8? How'd you feel? What's stirring up in your emotions?
It was fine. I didn't.
It was
tear
fine.
Up.
Oh God, it was okay.
No, it was good. I didn't tear up. But no, it was good. It's got its good moments. Again, I don't think there's really I don't think any episode of this series has been bad, but you know, it's got its moments, and it was good overall. Yeah. I'm just not over here having an emotional release.
Listen, listen. This episode, I don't know. Like I went into this episode knowing from the game, right? Knowing exactly where it was going to go, unless of course they took some liberties and changed some stuff around. But for me to have this emotional connection with Ellie and Joel and their relationship with each other, there were certain elements that I was expecting to occur, like, okay, I think this needs to happen, and I think I recall this happening, and so on and so forth. But and we'll get into the specifics as to what that is. But once all those scenes were happening, oh man, I don't know. This episode just hit me differently. This episode really hit me. And I see you laughing over there.
I'm not laughing.
What is he talking about? It wasn't that big of a deal.
I'm not. No, I know.
Look.
There are definitely strong emotional cores to this episode. They're there. I thought they were good. I'm not laughing.
Look
okay.
here. Look, listen.
It's okay.
No, this episode I really enjoyed it. I won't go as far as to say it's better than episode, whatever, like 4 or 6 or 3. I just really enjoyed it. It was it wasn't Ellie and Joel focused episode, but the focus now is shifted on Ellie. We got her flashback last week with her and Riley and how she came to be with right before she met Joel. But right here is present time. We are stuck with Ellie. Joel is bedridden, and she has to take care of him. She has to be the caretaker. A very different shift in roles. Were you expecting that from Ellie having to, because Joel got stabbed in the tummy. He got stabbed in the tummy 2 weeks ago, and I'm surprised he's even alive. That knife was thick, from what I remember. That was a fat knife that got plunged into his belly. How'd you feel with the episode now shifting to Ellie being the caretaker in this one?
It makes sense. It's a natural shift. I think last episode establishes, kind of how Ellie initially reacts. I'm trying to put it to words. So, last episode was very much in the moment, like, she's freaking out. Joel's, obviously almost in a comatose state. And she's freaking out. And, Joel's over here telling her, go ahead, go on without me. Go find Tommy. He'll take you the rest of the way. And then I think, the flashback establishes that that's not how she's going to do things. It's not how she does it. She sees it all the way through. She's not going to leave anybody behind, just like how her and Riley did not leave each other. So, she does the stitching. and bam, I guess that's like the easy stuff, you know?
Right.
Because then it hits home that she's like, well, damn, Joel's still in a terrible shape. I gotta now go do what the provider does. I am the protector in this situation. I gotta go get us food. I gotta go make the perimeter make sure it's safe. And you know, now I'm faced with imminent threat. And it's like, I think what we see here in this episode is very much growth. You know, this episode, when she comes upon David and
David.
I forgot the other guy's name.
Which one?
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker.
Just
Just call him Troy Baker.
Troy Baker. When she comes upon them, you know, I think back to episode 4, where, you know, that guy was walking in the street in the Kansas City zone, and she's like, should we help him? Should we stop? You know?
Oh,
And
right. Yeah.
now Ellie's at the helm, so now she's over here like, drop it, back away 10 steps, weapons down, you know, your buddy can go get the medicine, or I'll put one between his eyes, easy, you know. So it's a lot of growth for Ellie. Very much she's now kind of has a better understanding of how this world functions.
Right.
And it sets up, I guess, like an interesting kind of crossroads for her as her interactions with David continue. So yeah, with all that said, I like seeing this growth with Ellie, and I think the show does a really good job at, you may not remember all these little moments of, you know, or where the growth launches from, but if you do, I think it makes these moments a lot stronger.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that detail from episode 4 with the whole thing where they saw the guy in the road and Ellie was willing to help them, saying, "Hey, should we help him?" Like, now that she's in charge, she's learning from, you know, she spent time with Joel. It's been a number of months, maybe even close to a year. No, probably like 6 months. I don't know, but she's been with Joel. She knows what not to do, what to do, and it's basically don't trust anyone out here. And she had very good reason to not trust anyone out here, especially in this episode. But yes, it was really cool to see Ellie just kind of take control of a situation and be like, hey, that's my deer. You know, I'm going to take that back with me. But if you got medicine, you know, we'll split it. We'll split it. You have this before you have this conversation with David, this is something that I'm not sure if it was an element in the game or not. I don't recall it, but this whole thing with the religious fanaticism that he has. I don't think that was a thing from the game. I could be wrong, but that's not a detail that I remember about him. There were other details I remembered about him, but I don't remember this. So and clearly they didn't show this element, which was the first portion of the episode. He's like with his settlement and he's like reading like a scripture from his Bible, and he's kind of just he's trying to comfort everyone in there. I think the girl that was crying, they were mourning the death of, we didn't know this at the moment, but she's mourning the death of her father, who was
the guy who stabbed Joel.
Exactly. So they're just trying to keep their emotions together. This is where we see Troy Baker as well. Troy Baker's just playing an NPC, so to speak. And it's fine. It's fine. I didn't want Troy Baker to, like, because Troy Baker is really big, you know, especially in the voice acting / video game scene. So I didn't want him to get a character that would steal the shine away from these major characters like David, obviously, you know, Joel, Ellie. So I'm glad they gave him the role that they gave him for this one. And yeah, David's kind of like just the right-hand man of I'm sorry, not David. Troy Baker. James, that's his name. I'm calling him Troy Baker. I am remembering that.
David and James. How biblical.
He's the right hand man of David, basically. And he has doubt. They're starving. They're struggling on food and supplies. And you're starting to realize, well, you don't realize it yet, but you're starting to question, hey man, what are they eating if they can't find deer anywhere? What's that on their plate? What's going on there?
I mean, I already had an idea.
Did you?
Yes.
You?
Dare I
Walking
say,
Dead?
no, maybe no. Okay. So again, like I say, The Walking Dead is very comic book like. When The Walking Dead introduces cannibalism, it's straight up cannibalism in your face. They kidnap this character named Bob, and they knock him out, and then Bob wakes up and his leg is chopped off, and you see them eating over a fire like, and then Bob looks down and realizes his leg has been chopped off.
Right.
This one, I think, you're gonna hate me. I was looking up this actor, Scott Shepherd, because
the guy who plays David.
Yes, and I looked him up because I saw a tweet it was his face and it said "Winter is coming," and I was like, "Oh, did he play the Night King?" And
did he?
No.
Oh,
no. So I went to the Last of Us page and I said David, and they labeled him a cannibal. I went to the TV series page.
You suck.
I went to the series page. And I was like, oh, man, why are they putting that right here?
Why are you looking it up to begin with?
Because I wanted to know the actor's name.
No, you're dumb. You're dumb. Oh,
so either way. Yes, I was tad spoiled. Either way, I get it. Obviously, they're running low on food. Food is scarce. It's winter, too. I guess animals migrate or whatever, right? That's Animal Kingdom 101. And they have dead bodies. They can't bury them. The ground's frozen.
Yeah, I forgot the cannibalistic part of this storyline. I just completely forgot about it. So I believed it at first, but then I questioned, what do you mean the ground is frozen? Like, clear away the snow and bury. I don't know. I've never buried dead in the winter during a snowstorm.
I've never buried dead, period.
I don't know. I don't know. But that was one thing that made me raise an eyebrow. Like, huh? You guys are gonna wait? Is the body gonna not rot and decay in the meantime, unless you stick it in a freezer? Or I don't know what you're gonna do with the body. But well.
And then there was also just mad emphasis on those eating scenes.
Yes, the whole like kind of just stuffing their face.
Yes, stuffing their face. They were literally,
and it was red. Like, were they eating it raw?
No, they weren't. They weren't eating it raw. It was definitely cooked. But like
probably like a sauce.
It was a soup. It was a soup, a broth, whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, no. They just were emphasizing those scenes. He made a point. They made a point to talk about. They only got a week's worth of food left. And everybody would and everybody would have to ration, so there were clues. Just I guess the biggest thing that I don't know, maybe they were all okay with it, I don't know, but then this dude David, leading with the word of the Lord, out here blessing the food as they eat. He's raising some red flags. He slaps that little girl.
He didn't slap her yet in the beginning.
No, I'm just going off of all the clues they've given with this dude. But yeah, no, just like he seems like a creeper. Just seems like a creeper. So yeah, I'm like, I got red flags, man. I got red flags.
This actor, he did such a phenomenal job at playing this despicable character, just because I knew who this, like, I remember these details from the game, but have even knowing that, seeing how convincing he was early on at seeming like a genuine person, I don't know, like that just clicked for me. Like, wow, that's scary. That is so, because I know, assuming they keep that in the story, which I was hoping that they did, because that's the whole point of how ugly this person is. Because he does open up very warmly. He does open up as like, hey, I mean, we're here to help. You could come with us. We got supplies back home. We could split the deer if you want. Let us know if you need help. Like, and it comes off as genuine because probably his time as a preacher has invited him to that's probably invited himself to actually speak in a calm and convincing tone. He's the leader of his encampment. He better be convincing with how he speaks. And there's like a subtle red flag early on when he talks to Ellie, because now they're by themselves. Troy Baker, I like calling him just Troy Baker. He's just there. Troy Baker is going off to get the medicine, and he's giving off this whole spiel about, I think things happen for a reason. And Ellie's like, okay, go ahead, prove it. And that's where all of a sudden everyone's on high alert. She's like, oh yeah, we just we just had a ceremony for one of our dead who went out with a group of 4 people. He was the 4th person. They came back. It was only 3. And they said an older gentleman and a little girl did that. And immediately it's like, okay. So this is not, this is either a farce that he's putting, or he's just trying to rustle our jeans and get us antsy, right? At that point, Ellie just leaves. She just leaves. She's like, all right, yeah.
Well, James shows back up, gives her the medicine.
Right.
But his whole thing I think another red flag is that he doesn't want to kill her.
Okay. Is this a little bit of hindsight, or did you really think so the obsession with wanting to keep her alive, like what was going through your mind? Like, why did you think?
It's noticeable because it's in conflict to James. James is the one, Troy Baker is the one who keeps saying, why are we keeping her alive? Why are we letting her go?
Mercy.
Why not kill her on sight? There's something going on. There's something wrong. It seems Ellie is breaking status quo for this man, David,
Yeah.
It's like, I guess their original rule is to kill on sight and let that be it. And I guess turn them into food later for the select few that know that.
He was very quick to tell them, yeah, go ahead and kill Joel. Kill Joel. Like,
right.
But not her. Not her.
Right. So yes, this is not hindsight. This is they definitely made this a point throughout the episode. Like, and he's like, and then there was the whole scene too where she tries to lead, they do track her back to their little neighborhood, and she tries to lead them away. R.I.P. to the horse.
Yeah, man, that horse didn't deserve it.
No, he
didn't. Baker should have just shot her if he was so obsessed.
No, he's not supposed to. And when
he was ready to, he was ready.
Yeah, I know, and he came up on her ready to do it, and David had to let one go. He'd be like, "No, I said we're keeping her," And so obviously it's like, why?
Well, I mean, I feel like they left little crumbs here and there, like, he believed, and there's no way for him to believe it, because he doesn't know if this is true or not, but he believed she was not the one that killed that guy earlier.
Right.
She very well could have, but I think in his mind, he's just trying to get a read on Ellie, and he doesn't see her as the type of person that would have killed anyone. Probably hasn't killed anyone, period, but Ellie has. But yeah, no, it seemed very obsessive at that point. And I just love the Joel and Ellie moments where it's this sign of desperation. She is doing this to take care of Joel, and when push comes to shove, she could have taken that horse and just snuck out the back and ran away. Just literally
did not see that horse leave.
They didn't. They did
until
not
she
see
shouted.
it until she shouted. But you see, before she did that, she huddled over to Joel. She's like, listen, you take this knife. If there's anyone that comes through that door, you kill them. Do not negotiate, like nothing. Do your Joel stuff. Do your Joel thing. And it's like, it's one of those things where, you know, Joel's just out of it. He's just like,
He's on
like,
the road to recovery, but he's not there. Not
He's
even
not-
close.
he is not all there. But oh my God, I love this. And maybe this is why I connected to the story a lot more. Because it's through subtle little things throughout the episode. Joel's out of it at this point, right? Ellie's knocked out. David's taking her back to the camp. And then Joel is so the rest of the crew that was with David, they're searching the little like town, I guess, or the suburb. And when Joel starts hearing footsteps upstairs, that tummy ache is starting to go away all of a sudden. It's like, okay, adrenaline. There's someone up there. I don't know who it is, but it's likely not Ellie. Once he kills this first guy that comes down, he is back to normal Joel. Because once he gets rid of that first guy, I think it becomes real to him that, oh my God, Ellie is in trouble. I don't know who this guy is. There's a body in the basement, and they probably have her somewhere. Whatever my mind is at right now, like in terms of like waking up or being out of it, I need to get it. I need to get it together. And that's why you see him so okay after, not necessarily okay, but he has pep in his step. He's kicking it now.
He's motivated.
He is motivated. And oh my God, they did this scene so much justice. I loved this scene. They did it beat for beat. And honestly, I'm okay with that.
What scene?
The scene with the interrogation.
Oh.
I love this. You remember that scene from episode, which one? We're on episode 8. I think it was episode 6 where it's that scene where Joel is thinking of leaving Ellie behind with Tommy, and then they have that one-to-one in that in that house, and they just start arguing back and forth. She brings up Sarah. He's like, don't do it. That scene was powerful for what it was, because they did it beat for beat. It was like a one-to-one adaptation. Here, this interrogation scene, another one-to-one. As I was watching it, I was quoting the lines. And they said it. They said it word for word, and I freaking loved it.
Go ahead, quote it right now. Now.
Okay. So, oh my God, this is gonna be going back and forth. So Joel's interrogating 2 guys that he captured, from that were that had the search party. He's beating up this one dude in the chair. Boom, 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 boom. Ora. And then, finally, he's like, "Where's the girl?" "What girl?" Boom! Stabs him in the knee. And oh God, I remember the line. He said, "If you lie to me one more time, I'm gonna pop your damn kneecap off." I'm gonna pop it. And it's one of these things where, since the early bit of this season, you heard about these things that Joel would do. You knew he lived a very terrible life post Sarah. And he did some like very messed up things. And people reminded him of that. You saw it in episode 6, I think, with Tommy. Tommy's telling him, "Joel, what we did, Jesus, man, what we did was not good."
He said, well, Joel's like, those things that I did. And then Tommy's like, "Joel, those weren't just things. We killed. We murdered." Like Joel's afraid to say it out loud because that'll make him, feel remorse or guilt for what he's doing. Tommy's been living with that guilt and remorse, owning up to the fact that, yes, we were out there killing people. And then here it is right here.
It's full display. This is like torture tactics 101. He's torturing this dude, stabbing him in his knee, and then he's telling him, point to the map. exactly where it is that your settlement is, and he's like, point to it on the map, and it better be the same damn place that your buddy over there points to as well. He sticks the knife in his mouth, same thing. He sticks it in so that he could point on the map, and he's like, good. And then he still kills him.
I was I was like, oh damn, Joel's gonna do whatever it takes to get Ellie back.
Because like he's building it up like, okay, this is like a tactic. You're gonna let this guy go, and you're gonna see if the guy behind him is telling the truth. There's none of that. He just straight up kills the first guy. Guy in the back is like, what the hell, man? He was telling you the truth. Why'd you go and do that? And Joel's not having it. You have this dude try to have like this last tough guy act. He's like, I ain't telling you shit, man. I'm not telling you anything. And Joel's like, that's okay. I believed him. No.
I get it. You don't leave no stones unturned, no half measures, as Mike Trout used to say.
Like, this was the monster Joel was, and it's only now come back because he wants to save the last bit of humanity that he has. And he's going to become that monster. We all know it's Ellie. We've been knew it's Ellie, but now that she's been taken, he's channeling his inner Liam Neeson.
Is that what this is? Yeah. Particular set of skills. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, just, oh man, this scene, chef's kiss. They adapted it perfectly. I'm glad they kept every bit of dialogue in here. The emotional bit with the guy. And again, I like what happened as well after this in terms of emotion. But this right here, I'm like, you nailed it. You nailed it. You got it. All right, I'm hooked.
Yes. No, I definitely was like believing. All right, Joel's back. He's on his feet. He's not 100%, but he's gonna get Ellie back. He's moving, right, with a purpose, you know. Right. So no, I bought it all the way. And that scene, I was like, damn, Joel, you have to with a pole.
Oh God! Oh my God! What you need to do after this is look up from the game.
Scene, the video game.
Look up the scene. Yes, you're gonna see it beat for beat. And again, I have a bias towards Troy Baker. That is Joel to me, the original. So I do prefer his performance, but Pedro Pascal, oh God, he nailed it here. He nailed it.
I will look it up. I will look it up after this.
But from there, Joel's venturing off to the settlement, and now we turn back to Ellie. Ellie's in like a little prison cell. And again, it's this back and forth with this David guy. And I think this was also in the game, this conversation that they're having. They're talking, and David's trying to really warm up to her and saying, hey, I don't want to chop you up into pieces. Everyone out there wants to kill you. I'm the only thing telling them, no, don't do it. And, it's, oh God, it just aggravates me how well this guy played this role, because part of you feels like he is kind of being genuine because he doesn't want to kill her. But at the same time, you're like, why though? Why do you want to kill her? And
what is the system to bringing people into the group? Because if it's this is a really creepy system.
Right. And like Troy Baker, he even said it. I feel like he made the most sense in this. He's like, David, that's another mouth to feed. We're starving. Like, why do you want her? And you get this scene. Oh God, I think again, beat for beat from the game. You get this scene where David puts his hand on the bar, saying that Ellie, you're strong, you're loyal, you're committed. We need someone like you. I need someone like you.
You're violent.
And it's that hand on the bar, as if trying to welcome, like, look, I'm meeting you halfway. Here's my hand.
Is that what you took it as?
His hand on the bar? Yes. Why is his hand on the bar?
Oh no, I took that as he's into Ellie.
No, that's what I'm saying. His hand was like a halfway. This is all part of his tactic. He's trying to, again, have Ellie meet him halfway. His hand is on the bar. His hand is on the bar first.
Yes,
and
correct.
he's like, Ellie, I'm being genuine here. I'm saying all these nice things and these compliments and everything. Meet me halfway. Then you have Ellie. Oh God, Bella Ramsey did it perfectly here. She's like playing the role like, what? You think I'm violent? Like, what did she say? What did she say? She says, she plays the role as if she's being convinced by what he's saying. She says something along the lines of like, you don't know me or something. Because
and he's like, I do know you. You're me. You're me.
I know for a fact if I open this cage and I give you this knife on the table, you're gonna stick me. I know that for a fact. I can read you. But it's this thing where, oh God, such a creep. You see Ellie put her hand on the bar, then that's what David wanted. Then once you see his hand put on Ellie's hand, that right there, that was convincing enough.
Okay, so I pulled it up. This dude the whole time is kind of, he's a preacher. He's like, we all need to listen to the Father, talking about
right.
Big Dog upstairs, right?
Right.
And then also, preachers are called fathers, like Father David, whatever.
Yeah.
So he's running with this shtick the whole time, and he's talking to Ellie, and he's like, you need a father, Ellie. But he's like saying, oh God, it's so creepy. Because he's saying like you need a father in the terms of like it's layered. God and you need me,
Right.
But not like that kind of father.
He's using the prospect of salvation he's using it as a method to be like, okay, this is how I invite you in. But my personal reasons, this is how I'm going to use you, right? So it's just so, oh God, I hope this actor, because they showed his name at the very end,
Scott Shepherd.
I hope he did such a good job here. And I know this sometimes happens when actors play like very terrible characters so well that some stupid fans can't separate that the actor is not the character from the show, and so they like go in swarms and try to bully the actor. I know, for example, the guy who played Joffrey, right?
Oh yes.
His name's escaping me.
I know
from Game
his
of Thrones.
Yes, I know him. Yes.
But he's a perfect example. He played the role of this despicable child that you hated. You hated him, but it's because he did his character justice. Like he played the role right, but some people were just dumb enough that they couldn't separate reality from fiction, and they just trolled him, bullied him, whatever. So I hope this guy does not get that same treatment, because he played David perfectly in the most grotesque and disgusting way. Ellie's not having it. I'm glad our girl Ellie came in there. She broke his finger, freaking bit his hand. I loved it.
Tell them, Ellie.
No. Give it justice. No. What is it? What does she say?
It's Ellie. What? Tell them it was the girl Ellie that broke your fucking finger.
Perfect. Ellie is not. Ellie knows what this man is doing.
You know what that was giving when Ellie said that line?
What?
That was giving Rorschach from The Watchmen, where he's like, "You got it wrong. I'm not locked in here with you." And like he just like threw grease frying oil on to some dude. He's like, "You're locked in here with me." Kind of vibes. Like, don't fuck with me. I'm Ellie, bitch.
I don't remember the scene, but it makes sense. She is violent and she's not. And you have like little Weasley David saying like, "What's that? Tiny little pieces? Is that what you said?" Okay.
Well, the big elephant in the room, which we haven't even said, was Ellie spots the ear.
Oh yeah, the cannibalism, right?
Right, and then that's when that's why she's like, "Are you gonna chop me up to little pieces?" And he admits to hey, this is what we got to do to survive. And I guess the episode also tries to tackle the themes of what are you willing to do to survive. It's survival. That's all it is. And if Ellie has to be violent, if Ellie chooses violence, as this guy likes to put it, you're violent, then she's gonna be freaking violent, and she's gonna do what it takes to survive. Because here this guy is like calling her violent and thinking what, she wouldn't do something about it? You called it. You nailed it on the head. She's violent.
And
here
loyal.
she is.
There
loyal.
It is. Loyal.
Loyal to Joel. Yes. Loyal.
It was perfect. It was perfect. Bella Ramsey, she deserves her flowers. She played Ellie to a T in this scene.
Yes, absolutely.
And it was great because at that point, David and Troy Baker, they come in. They're like, "All right, let's do it." they're ready to chop her up. And I think this also happened in the game too. Ellie pulling a smart W like out of thin air. She's like, "Hold up, wait, I'm infected. And there's layers to this because it stops them from chopping her up. And at first it's almost like, oh, she's infected. Do they want to eat infected meat? Will they become infected if they eat someone that is infected? Ooh, maybe we shouldn't do this." But then Ellie takes it a step further. She's like, "Hey, I just said I'm infected, and I bit you. Remember that? I bit you. Go ahead, roll up my sleeve. Go ahead." And he rolls up their sleeve, and oh man, David
it's there.
is like, it's there. There's the mark, and there's always been this sense of doubt from Troy Baker in this episode. He's been doubting his leader from the beginning. He doubted him with the whole food aspect in the very beginning, and David was like, "Hey, I sense some doubt in you. I need you with me." He had doubt then. He had the whole doubt thing about taking Ellie back. Troy Baker's character was doubtful from the beginning, and the being doubtful ultimately resulted in him dying. Because what is it? David saying like, "Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. That's not real. If she was infected, she would have turned already. That doesn't make any sense. That's not real." And Troy Baker's like, that looks real to me, David. I don't know. That split second of doubt, that's all that Ellie needed. Boom. Kills Troy Baker, runs. Easy. I just love that element to Troy Baker's character because it was the doubt that ultimately killed him. It was just placed doubt. Like he should have been doubting Dave from the beginning, and he was.
Should have stuck with his guts.
Right. And he did. But ultimately it resulted in his death by Ellie. Homie was just trying to do his job for the community. So yeah, Ellie runs into the back. This is like the dining room area where everyone eats. And a fire breaks out. And this, again, I just like it because it's from the game. It looks cool.
This whole scene in the resort, it's on fire.
This whole scene, if I remember correctly, you're playing as Ellie, and as the building is burning around, you have David trying to search for Ellie, and your goal is to sneak around. And Ellie literally does this in the episode. Your goal is to sneak around and like sneak up behind David and like, get some hits on him, like, stab him or, stab him in the leg, whatever. And then he like slaps you away, and then you have to do it like probably 3 or 4 times, whatever. But in here, the building's burning down. Ellie does it once. So dumb. She yells as she's running towards him. I hate that in fiction, man. Stop doing that. You pull me out. You pull me out of the moment when you do dumb stuff like that. So
It's
David,
adrenaline, man. It's adrenaline.
Of-
Just
of
gr-
course.
but it's adrenaline, man. Let her be.
What is it? David slaps her away. And this right here, I was wondering if they were gonna change this scene. In terms of like what was David going to say to Ellie. Because there was some ambiguity with David in the game. A little bit. It was still kind of obvious, but it was still ambiguous. Specifically, you know, in the game, David slaps Ellie and he gets on top of her. And it looked like he's trying to kill her, but then he says something along the lines of like, you have no idea what I'm capable of. And it was something that, like, you know, reading into it, you're like, what are you trying to say there? It seems rather obvious, but like that could be interpreted in like so many different ways. David was still being a creep before this, but it's one of those things where it's like in that moment, was David really going to, like, while the fire is burning around them?
No, I don't think he was going to, but the way his lines, it was like implied that he's done this before, because he was like, I like it when they fight back and stuff.
Right. Well, see, that I like how more direct they were in this episode. Like, because David wasn't saying all this in the game.
Right. And then he says there's no fear in love, you know.
That was it.
That's that's psychotic, because he's, you know, projecting that he thinks he's in the right. He thinks this is love.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And then mind you too, you know, when we meet David, or his first conversation with Ellie, you know, she's like, you still believe in that shit? And he's like, actually, I became a man of faith after all this went down. So it's like, what the hell were you doing before? He was probably a really bad dude before, you know, it went to shit, and then he had to hide it. I guess hide it more.
Right.
So no, I don't think he was gonna do it in that moment. I think he was just gonna kill her, but you know,
you think he was gonna kill her?
Right? Yeah, I think he was reaching for the other knife, because Ellie reached for the cleaver.
He wasn't reaching for anything. He had her pinned on the floor, and he was just kind of. Yeah, no, he wasn't reaching for anything. Ellie was the one reaching for
she reached. I'm pretty sure. Here, I got it pulled up. Either way, I don't think he was gonna do that right there while you know, it's burning. That doesn't make a lot of sense. He's literally, he like reaches behind him. He like reaches like in his pocket, which I guess was the other knife and not the cleaver. I'm not sure. No, it wasn't the cleaver, because the cleaver's in Troy Baker. But he was reaching for something. So that's why I thought he was just gonna kill her.
He was definitely gonna keep her alive. There was no way. I know the moment was probably calling for her to die with everything that's going on. But the guy is sick. The guy is sick.
Obviously, yes.
He's gonna do his best to like keep her around. And I mean, Ellie, just that blood curdling scream that Ellie lets out, that to me is confirmation enough where it's like Ellie's like genuinely afraid of this guy, because this is disgusting. And she hits him with the machete, and as the flames are going around her, she just goes to town with that machete on David. And it's just like in the game. She does not relent. She keeps going, chopping him up. It's the adrenaline, the fear of what was about to happen. Of course not. Yeah.
Right. No, I don't blame her one bit.
Yeah, she went in, and it was very, very grotesque. Once she exits that scene, Joel just grabs her from behind, like, oh, Ellie, it's me.
I would too. It's like, I got you, kid. You're safe now. I mean, clearly he doesn't know she just went through some major trauma.
Right. But, right. And, you know, and it shows, like, she's like all like jittery and scared, saying, let go of me. But it takes her like a good couple seconds to realize, oh, this is Joel. And it's like Joel doesn't know what she just went through, but he can tell in her eyes and the way she's acting, whatever it was something that put fear into her. She's likely changed for the rest of her life.
Oh yeah,
And-
absolutely.
And I did not need no after episode behind the scenes thing to tell me this. Joel embraces her and says, "I got you, baby girl." Oh God! Oh man, I loved it. You didn't shed a tear. You didn't shed a tear. Get out of here.
I didn't
Get
shed
out.
a tear, but again, I was like, this is what we came for. This right here. This is called growth. Because funny enough, I had just rewatched part of episode 4 with Apex, and
Oh, is he watching it?
yeah, he's finally watching it.
Wow.
And it was the scene in Bill's truck where he's like, "You're not family, you're cargo," you know.
Right.
Beckons all the way back to that. She ain't no cargo no more. It's all right, baby girl. It's all right. And Joel's finally embracing what he's been trying to put off for so long. Emotional damage. Yeah, he's ready to embrace those feelings again. And I think he recognizes, as you said, this is what Ellie needs right now. No kind of good job, no pep talk, just a comfort, a safe place, someone she feels safe with, you know.
Right.
And it was a really good scene. It was a really good scene. I did not tear up. No, I was fine.
Wow. Unbelievable.
No, not unbelievable,
Very
but
unbelievable.
still a very good scene.
This was great. I mean, I'm gonna keep saying it, just like the game. It did it just like the game. The way I think of it, I think Joel like stops Ellie from going further with the machete in the game.
Oh, in the game.
I think so. I remember Ellie keeps going, and then Joel like finds her, and then same exact thing happens. He like embraces her, and she's like going ballistic, thinking that it's someone else. But this time Ellie just stops on her own, and she exits the burning building, and then Joel finds her like that. But still, this was great. I loved this episode. This one was really good. I felt like they adapted the characters perfectly. David, oh my God, you just love the way that he's acting in the episode, because the actor is doing such a good job, and you're like,
Right.
man, this is like, part of you wants to believe that he's being genuine, but you're like, no, there's something wrong with this guy. There's something behind all that niceness, and it's just weird. That was perfect. That was grade A, and he got his just comeuppance at the end of the episode, and it gears us up for the finale. Oh my God, the finale. Ooh, man, you know what? You don't know anything about the ending, right?
Nope.
Okay. Here's some rules. I don't want you looking up any freaking actor involved with anything. Don't look up Troy Baker. All you gotta do is wait a week. Once that week comes, you can look up whoever the hell you want to. Don't look up anything when you're watching the episode.
Sure.
Because this will not go the way you think.
I can do that. No, I can do that. I can restrain.
I'm excited. I know what's gonna happen, but I am excited because I want to see the reactions of people that don't know what is going to happen. Bless your heart for not being spoiled by something like this from, like, at this point 10 years ago. It's been 10 years since the ending of The Last of Us, and I am just so surprised that you have not been spoiled by anything.
I might know
involving that
one
ending.
thing. I might know one thing, but I don't know any of the context to it. So there's that.
Okay. Okay.
And
Fair
given
enough.
how the narrative of the Last of Us plays, this one thing that I know could be present, could be past, could be future. I don't know. So I haven't gone any further. I haven't gone any further.
It sucks that we're in a post Last of Us Part 2 world where, because of the game, certain things are not going to happen. If there was ever a doubt in your mind, like, is Joel gonna die at the end of all this?
Unless they want to switch it up entirely.
I don't know, man. It's kind of weird to switch it up by now. 8 episodes in, and you just want to change the ending.
Not change the ending, just do the TV thing, do your own thing with it. Possibility. I mean, I doubt it, but
I really doubt it.
if they wanted to take a liberty, they could. Well, I mean, yeah, no, I don't think they will, but the option's always there. But
Right.
yes, I'm relatively, for the most part, blind, as are a lot of people that I know. So
Is
they definitely don't look up
is
stuff like
Apex
me.
Blind?
Yes, completely.
Wow. I
He's
can't
he's
wait.
not a gamer outside of Pokemon.
Oh yeah, that's right. Garbage Pokemon. But are you at least looking forward to the finale? We only have 1 episode left. We are getting a season 2, but how are you feeling going into the finale?
I mean, I feel the same way when I go into any of these episodes of The Last of Us. I just know I'm in for a good ride. I don't really put any expectations on it. Shoot. This finale, I imagine, will have been worth the journey. But no, I honestly don't know what to expect from it. And I will not put any expectations toward it other than just deliver on the goods. Hey, okay, fine. If anything, episode 5 moved me to tears. I guess that's
Episode 5 was the Henry and Sam finale?
Henry and Sam. Yes, Henry and Sam. If I dare them to try that again, I guess. So yeah.
Interesting. Maybe not move you to tears. Maybe not, but I think it's still emotional with where they're gonna go with it. We'll see. That preview showed some pretty good clips. They showed us some good action going on in there. So you at least know things might kick up in the sky in terms of like the frenetic energy of a finale. But we'll wait and see. But yeah, I think that kind of wraps up our thoughts here for episode 8 of The Last of Us.
Oh, let me say one more thing. If you didn't know, do you know who played David in the game?
Do I know who played David in the game? I don't know his name off the top of my head.
Yes, you do. Oh, you don't know who played it.
I don't know who played it. Who played it?
Nolan North.
That was Nolan North?
That was Nolan North.
Was he in the episode at all or no?
No, he's not in the episode. He
Oh.
just plays David in the game. Saw
Okay.
that, and he jumped at the opportunity to play someone outside of kind of his
Sully.
right. So yep, Nolan North.
Wow, I did not know that. Maybe I need to go back and listen to some of his scenes in the original Last of Us. I don't even hear Nolan North's voice in the original David. You know how like Nolan North has that iconic voice where it's like, oh yeah, I hear Nathan Drake with that.
Right. Well, if it's Nathan Drake, yeah.
But no, yeah, I'll probably go back. And give that a listen.
Just wanted to throw that out there for the fans.
It's a fun fact. He's dipped his toes into 2 of Naughty Dog's most successful IPs out there, Uncharted and The Last of Us. Well, I guess now he's dead in The Last of Us, but either way, I say that wraps up our thoughts here on the Yonko table for episode 8 of The Last of Us. Let us know what you all think in the comments below about what you thought of episode 8. Are you up to speed? Are you excited from this penultimate episode leading into the season finale? What are your expectations going into the season finale if you've never played the game, if you have no idea what is going to happen? Do you expect there to be a cure? Do you not expect there to be a cure? Because remember that I like how the main objective has kind of like drifted to the back of our minds. They're trying to make a vaccine with this girl, and they keep getting sidetracked by all these dumb things. They got sidetracked by God, what's her name? Kathleen. They got sidetracked by Sam and Henry. They got sidetracked by Bill and Frank. It's like, finally, Jesus, we're here. We're here. But let's get this vaccine done. Let's see. I'm curious to see what everyone has to think if they haven't played the game, what they think is going to happen. But let us know what you think down in the comments below, wherever you're listening to us on, whether it be Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, at the Yonko Table. Let us know what you think. We'll catch you on the next one. I'm Dr. Jace Turney, fellow Yonko, Grandmaster Hoop, signing off. We'll catch you on the finale.